So I've been hearing that apparently some school districts in America are no longer going to have teachers. There will be students in the classrooms. Oh yeah, there's gonna be students in the classrooms, but there will not be teachers.
I just want to know, are these robots going to be trained to deal with truancy, excessive tardies to class, openly defiant behavior?
Hi, and welcome to another one. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about AI in schools as a mother myself, but also a mother that's in the truth and knows what's going on with this AI stuff. We essentially saw it coming, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't think it was gonna be this fast. I just ran across a post. It says AI powered school with no teacher set to open in Chicago. Okay, like this is like the last hour. Like the Most High is not playing. And it does make sense because they set up everything so intricately. Like that's the one thing I can say, even though this system is evil, is that it's meticulously and methodically planned out. About to play the clip.
I've never heard of. So a school is going to be completely AI with no teachers, and it's opening up in Chicago. Who are the students? They must be geniuses.
They're recruiting students
way.
right now. The students are.
Yo, the way that these newscasts will people be like literally like on their knees, if you know what I'm saying, like, they be like going hard. She was mad hype. Oh, they must be geniuses. Like all these people that do that stuff, like they be so they're using AI. Oh, you must be a genius. And they do that on purpose, y'all. It's to like really, like I said, they're on their knees piping this stuff up. Like they literally be just gushing over, as the kids say, glazing the crap out of AI. And they're trying to make it seem like it's like, oh, you have to be, if you're using this thing, you have to be smart. You just got to be smart. And it's all a part of their agenda, because anything that is geared towards the mark of the beast, they're going to try to make those people seem like they're in the ahead of the times, like they're in the modern times, like this is the wave of the future. Say no to the mark of the beast, y'all. Because feeding into that actually would make you an absolute moron idiot to the highest degree. But just being factual, but technology in itself is created by the Most High, like, and they're only using the crumbs of what he knows.
People of whose parents can afford $55,000 a year in tuition. I'll just say that for this private school. But this is a fascinating story on so many different levels. It's going to be called Alpha Schools. And Alpha Schools is a private school. I don't want to call it a chain, but it's a group of schools that exist in other states, formed out of Austin, Texas. And here's how the day works for these students. K through 8 right now, but eventually they want to make it K through 12. They do essentially all the core academic learning in 2 hours in those booths with AI. And it's very personalized. They interact with the AI. They learn their core subjects, reading, writing, arithmetic, and all the things that we learn. And then the rest of the day is left open to workshops, to entrepreneurial stuff, even for kids as young as 2nd and 3rd grade, business stuff, some arts as well. And that's where they really get their collaboration with other students and problem-solving skills in. No teachers. They are hiring, the school is currently. It's going to be downtown. They would love if you have a teaching background, but you don't have to have one. You have to have a bachelor's degree, but you don't have to have any educational experience or even a degree in education, because it's the AI doing the core learning with the student, and then it opens up the rest of the day. Look, AI is coming to our schools in one way or another. There's no doubt about it. Will teachers be okay essentially saying take over computers? Probably.
You know that the teacher's not going to like this, but this is what they planned. So on watching this, I actually have a few opinions of teachers that we could watch.
So I've been hearing that apparently some school districts in America are no longer going to have teachers. There will be students in the classrooms. Oh yeah, there's gonna be students in the classrooms, but there will not be teachers. They will be taught by AI. Okay, well, how are we gonna have children? How are we gonna have 20 children in a room without an adult? Oh, don't worry, they're gonna get monitors for that, but that way they don't have to pay those adults as much, because they can hire just anyone, apparently. So what I'm getting out of this is Y'all really do think that teachers are just babysitters after all. Okay. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
So I might be late to the news, but I recently seen videos that was trending about robots replacing teachers for the upcoming school year. I just want to know, are these robots going to be trained to deal with truancy, excessive tardies to class, openly defiant behavior, children skipping classes out of area? And I also want to know, will it be able to deal with the parents, especially the unruly parent? Like, can you imagine as a parent showing up to a school conference and you're talking to an AI teacher? And then I want to know, are the school leaders going to be prepared for a computer malfunction? And who's supposed to cover the robot if it can't perform its duties for that day? Because God forbid a child throws water on their electronic teacher, right? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, because I don't see that turning out too well.
And both these women make some valid points. Like, these kids are so unruly, and kids be fighting teachers. Okay? Kids be fighting teachers. Y'all, kids, square up with the robots. It's like, no, I'm just joking. But it's just interesting that they really are trying to, and these are, teachers always thought that, oh no, or was it nurses? But I know the nurses always thought that they couldn't possibly be replaced. Nurses, y'all look out. Y'all look out now, because this really is happening. Like, the things that you thought were safe is not safe, and it's all biblical.
There's going to be, obviously this is a private school, they can kind of do what they want here versus the public schools, but I do find it to be a fascinating discussion on where we're going with AI, its capabilities, and how much the education experience is going to embrace this stuff.
I'm all about, technology and teaching our kids advanced learning, like things that we obviously didn't get an education on. My only thing that comes to mind right away is, I know, and I've talked to Gabby about this, and I'm sure you will encounter this too as a parent, that when it's time to get your kids into school, even preschool now, especially if they're not going to a public school, it's like applying for college. And so in a lot of instances, they want your kids to write, right? They want them to even do little essays starting in like kindergarten and things like that. I just don't see how you'll be able to even write your name and things like that if a good portion of that educational component is on the computer. And in fact, I talked to a principal about this, and this is a big issue that they're having as classrooms become more technologically savvy and kids are on iPads and computers. Kids don't know how to write. They don't know how to do a 5 + 5 = 10. And so I just don't know if that becomes a problem later in life. I love the concept. I love the concept of a second grader being able to create a business that could be sustainable, maybe even for the rest of their lives, and start thinking about that. But some practicality you still need. You still may need one day to write your name.
I have this debate all the time with my listeners on the radio, because I'm someone who still took penmanship, right? Mm-hmm. And I now argue that was an hour a day or however long it was, completely wasted. What do we care if kids know cursive? Right? This is not the way of the future. Why are kindergartners writing out essays anyways? I'm going to get a lot of pushback. I'm sure your viewers will disagree with me too. And a lot of people point to there is some skill and important brain maneuvers happening when you're writing things down, and no doubt. But is that the way of the future, right? Here's one point I'll make, because I know a lot of people are putting up their guard about this and saying, why could this possibly happen? We need teachers in the classroom, and I'm not going to disagree with that. My mom, who was a public school teacher for 40 years, is watching right now, so I'm not going to disagree with her on this. But when you have a classroom of 25 to 30 people trying to learn skills, no doubt some kids fall behind, some kids are way ahead and are bored in the class. That is just indisputable. So if you have worked out an AI model that is going to be individualized to each person and can teach them some of these skills in 2 hours that used to take 6, and you free up more time for creativity, for planning, for collaboration, for the approaches of the 21st century where we're going to be, I could see the argument behind it. And this has become politicized because everything these days is. The education secretary, for as long as we have a Department of Education, they promised to shut it down eventually, went to one of these schools in Austin and heralded the founder and said this is a great thing. And of course, that received a lot of pushback from people who aren't happy with the administration on all sorts of levels. So this is going to be fascinating to see. And look, public schools use AI too. It's just more as a supplemental thing. It is not something that is driving the discussion, just driving the lectures. So this is going to be an interesting future in AI in general, especially as it impacts classrooms.
Well, and it sounds like they did a lot of research. I mean, it's not like they're just going to come up with this just out of nowhere. I mean, and I think it's fair too, because it's 2 hours, you said, of that core learning, that core curriculum. There's a lot of learning fatigue out there. I remember being exhausted by the end of the day, or seeing, kids right now, especially being exhausted by the end of the day, and then they have these extracurriculars. It sounds like there's only so much brain power that you use. It's true. And instead, they could use it towards.
Notice how she says learning fatigue. Like, they love Black fatigue. Just saying, that's just something I just pointed out. Like, they love to just spin it.
Something that maybe will really benefit them in the long run, like building a business.
Yeah, but I don't have to worry about it because I'm not paying $55,000.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
So it ain't my
Don't give me
work.
ideas, David. You ain't going to this school.
Yeah.
Oh, dag. Oh, the sunlight's coming in. Oh, beautiful sunlight. Okay. Maybe it's a little bit bright. I wanted to get some sunlight in here because it's a beautiful, beautiful sunrise. Okay, that's better. So this is very interesting. There were so many different instances in this where it's all planning out accordingly. First and foremost, y'all remember them those movies back in the day, the Freedom Writers, and there was another one, Coach Carter. Those different type of movies that I think they were based off of true stories that happen with human interaction and perseverance, motivate. Those days are pretty much in the past. That's crazy. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but as we go further and further in the end times, it's more of a reality. And it's really it's a good thing because this is all coming to an end because this world is extremely evil. The stuff that goes on underground that's coming to light is just crazy. Look at the Epstein files. But these are all things that, if you were in the truth, we've known for years. But now that it's coming out and stuff, it's just it hits different. Those days are done. When people say the world's not going to be the same how it was pandemic, it's the truth. There's definitely something spiritual going on. And this is another key indicator of the evidence, the human interaction in schools and stuff like that, let alone in life. If you notice, most people in most different areas they move, especially in the cities, they move different. We're not connected. They're more connected to technology, looking in their phones, relying on those things, all of that. And they did it all for a reason, y'all. So these kids going into these schools and AI is teaching them. You see how he just said, oh, who needs to learn cursive and who needs to write? And I'm not even just talking about that. I'm talking about basic writing skills. You see these kids, you see these teachers hopping on the TikTok and the YouTubes and the whatever, and are saying that the kids don't know how to write. The kids don't know how to put together sentences.
So yesterday I came to the realization my students can't read. That is the tragic truth. That's not good. Sorry. That is a tragic truth. And I struggle with being told that I have to focus on certain standards on grade level text when my kids are not reading grade level. And I just don't really know how to navigate that. I see they're struggling. They're not going to read because they don't understand what they're reading. You're going to give them a test with a text on it that they don't understand. So they're not going to attempt it because then that makes them feel a specific type of way. They don't want to struggle. And I get that. I do. But at the same time, they're not going to get better either. So it's like a catch-22. Do I push them and try to get them to understand grade level text? Or do I come kind of down to their level and try to show them the standards on a text they do understand? Like, is that a possibility? Like, I don't know. It's a really difficult decision to make as a teacher, because you're told that they need to be reading grade level text, but at the end of the day, they don't understand the grade level text. So in reality, like, what are we doing, you know?
I'll tell you what they're doing. It was all planned. You saw the teacher say that they always thought they were babysitters.
Y'all really do think that teachers are just babysitters after all.
And it's the truth. And one of the things in grade school that you'll notice is the no kid left behind thing. That sounds cute until you really look and you scale back and you stand back and look at the overall picture from an eagle's eye view. And that is like literally a characteristic of the Most High, like looking at everything and seeing, hey, they're just looking at y'all as babysitters. They don't want the kids to know more and to grasp anything. They're pumping lead and all of these different things in the foods. Fast food is literally chemicals correlated to lower the IQ. There's so many different studies, and they don't want the kids to get smarter or any of that and have cognitive understanding and of these things, because yes, reading, writing with your hand does increase intelligence. There are studies on that as well. They want the kids to be like this, so when they pull out the mark of the beast, these newer generations are going to be so dumbed down and so fallen away and thinking that, you know, the Most High, that although that talking about that is religion and stuff like that, that there's going to be a lot of them that are just going to go ahead and go with it. They were trying to replace teachers all along, and especially now they really don't care. They just want you to be placeholders so that the AI can come in. This was always their plan from the rip. They introduced technology, they spoon feed you throughout the years, and then they know what's going to come about. They want people, the newer generations, especially because millennials, we're still, you know, able to detach from technology, and we'll push back certain things. Even Gen Z, certain ages of Gen Z or Alpha, whatever the other generations are that's like right after us, and they'll like be able to, there's going to be some pushback there. But these younger generations that are literally, this is what they're used to. They're the iPad babies. This is what they're used to. The generation that's going into teenagehood and adulthood and teenhood, having babies early, this is what they're going to go into. And with all these single family homes and stuff like that, like more and more people are going to be relying on technology. They're going to have robots babysitting. They're going to look at that as something that's, oh, that helps us and that'll help us, They create the problems and then bring their solutions. And if kids aren't writing and doing things, and he's trying to like gaslight it and say that, oh yeah, there are studies that say that there does something in the brain, try to like just push, they're going to shove that stuff to the side. But that's the truth. When you write something down, it does have a different feeling. There are times when I used to, and I still do, I enjoy writing stuff down because it does something different to you. It has more meaning versus you just typing something into a computer and relying on the computer. What if the computer break down? You're relying on the same, or what if you didn't save the information? You're relying on all of this stuff, and it does something to you. It's hard to explain because there's something that is spiritual, okay? But yeah, I'm not saying technology is lit. The Most High created it, but there is there is a weaponization of technology going on. So if they're training the newer generations to detach from doing things themselves, to detach from knowing how to maneuver without technology, something in this world that is run by Satan, that's going to make it easier for the newer generations and the older generations too. A lot of people are just falling into suit. Hey, you watching the video, you're still here, you made it this far. I really appreciate you. That means that you like the content, you like the message, or you don't, but that's okay too. Sticking around, subscribing, liking the video. But not only that, I do have a book out if you want to show your appreciation while also getting some education. I do have a book out, The Melanated and Expecting, basically going over the things that if I had known, the things that the Most High tried to show me before, during, and after motherhood, things like epidural birth certificates. These hospitals are targeting the newer generations. They are going after them because they know what is to come. Okay, Christ coming back soon. So with this information and different things I can't talk about on the internet, I was able to overcome through the Most High. But if you don't have to go through it, why not? I also have another one on here in the catalog, Value Your Virtue, if you want to show your support. Before you lay down with a man, that man has to be your husband. Something that the newer generations are lacking. But if you do enjoy the content, stick around, consider checking out the link, and back to the video. People are going to just sign up for the mark of the beast because they're saying, oh, well, I rely on this technology for this, that, and the third. Why not? No. Okay. No, because when the push comes to shove, when you need to scan a barcode to get into Whole Foods, when you need to scan a barcode to get into your bank, or you need to have a certain social score to be able to drive your electric car. Look at the war that's going on. They're attacking oil. That's attacking our freedoms. Okay, they're attacking our freedoms, and it's happening right under our noses. And most people are gonna go for it. They're letting it happen. You have all these people complaining, men, women, but I specifically say men because look in our history in the Bible. The Bible is our history book, y'all. Like going out, fighting. Of course, our people had the Most High or have the Most High and was able to tackle these things. But it's because people are falling away from their creator, which is so sad, that they don't have any backbone to them. They don't have any fearlessness to them. So that's why you see a bunch of men hopping on the internet and complaining about what Trump is doing, complaining about what they're doing, but not going forth. And it's even written in their constitution. I meant the Declaration of Independence, but I really don't care much about the history of this place. This joint is about to be history. That if the government act out of line, that the citizens have the right to overthrow that organization, this business, this LLC, Babylon LLC. And I'm not condoning violence. I have to say that when I put it out there, but you notice how often, not saying that if it's not you, it's not you, but they've created division amongst the people. Okay, divide and conquer. You'll see they'll say that in the 50 books of power or something, but that all came from the Bible. Okay, King James Version to be exact. And that's why it's just really sad to see. Okay, it's really sad to see. But even if they didn't have that written in their own constitution, this is something that can be done. They told us what it is. We are the 99%. Okay, I don't know about you. I'm not the greatest at math, but when it comes to basic common sense math, 99% is bigger than 1%, y'all. Okay, if we all came together, it would be a totally different thing, but only the Most High, only Christ can do that. Okay, as we clearly can see, once you don't have the Most High mixed into it, people all are, and it really shows his power. People just can't do it. So that's why when Christ come back, that's all that said. He's gonna get his vengeance, and that's just what it is. But it's really astonishing to see this, even though we know it is, it's not shocking, but it's just like when it's happening real time. Like I looked at this and I'm like, dang, I didn't think it was gonna be this quick, but it is. And I'm low-key, high-key happy because of the timing, because I know that these are just indications that we really are in the last hour. Like there's a chance like we could see Christ coming back, y'all. Like, or and of course we all don't know what time that is, but it's just an indication. But also like it's sad because there's so many people that are not ready. There's so many people like that are still deep just living in their sin. There's so many people that don't think Christ is real. Like there's so many people that are still going through the motions in this thing, and all you can do is pray for them and push out the information. So if you do like content like that, like this, feel free to hit the like button, hype the video up, subscribe, share. I also have a book out, Melanated and Expecting, just going over the things the Most High let me go through the years before becoming a mother, during and after, the things that they try to do. If you're trying to become a mother and you're melanated, even if you're not, they are targeting moms, okay? Especially single moms out there. If you're in the unfortunate circumstance of being a single mom, things like epidural, birth certificate, the things that they're doing in the medical industry, okay, the medical LLC that they do, this is a corporate business to them. They look at us as not even clients, but as the product, okay? You could check this book out. The link is going to be in the description. All praises to the Most High, y'all. Seek the Most High. We are, as you can see, we are in the end times, okay? It don't matter. He said it. If AI is going to come in regardless. So they're going to be, that's how they're going to push out the market of beasts. Oh, well, this is technology. It's going to come in regardless. So you might as well. No, that's the actual point of no return. And you don't want to be in that situation, okay? But don't do it. Say no to the market of beasts, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, they're trying to hack your system. They're trying to infiltrate what the Most High created. And even through that, they still can't, but it lets the Most High know what team that you're on. And you do not want to be in that type of situation. Seek him, through Christ. See Christ. We have this opportunity through him to be able to break free from the matrix and work for the kingdom of the Most High, y'all. Like it is like my life is a living testimony. I'm gonna be posting more videos on here, going into more personal things about my life, only because of the testimony, okay? Only because of the Most High. He's putting on my spirit to do so, because he most definitely is working amazingly in my life, okay? If you don't already know, we at the moment have been homeless, but comfortably so, and not even really, because like this is my daddy's real estate, like period. And we are in the process of this amazing elevation, and the journey has been amazing. I've created a whole bunch of videos on TikTok that I haven't posted yet, but I'm going to be posting in the coming weeks, okay? By the grace of the Most High. And yeah, but seek the Most High, y'all, and stay sober-minded on these spiritual streets. Peace. Can you just tap the screen to focus? Like tap when you look into my phone screen, babe. It's right here. But yeah, you good? And then you see me? Tap me a couple times to see if it'll focus. It focused a bit. Yeah, focus a bit. Thank you, cameraman. All right, I'm about to record. Oh, I'm recording. Okay. That was on recording.